This is Chris Wilcox, and now for episode 2 with the interview with Coach Jay Riley. So just kind of tell me the mindset of the girls and maybe the mindset that you have this year going on it.
Well, I think I had wrote it on our board before the game, and then I saw Mr. Scott Bowlesby's tweet, the post-Adeline Moore era. And I had wrote on the board before the game, before our first game with Ubley, like, this is new era of Lady Tiger basketball. 4 years, everyone knew Adeline, and it was about Adeline, and everyone was focused on that. Where we go into this year, I've got 2 4-year starters now in Alexa Long and Kaylee Garza. So they've been rode along with Adeline. They were key contributors. I got Gwen Geiger, her 3rd year up on varsity. The Thumb 6th Player of the Year last year, gets her starting role that she so desperately wanted. And then I'm adding in 2 very talented freshmen in Brooklyn Osborne and Gwen's little sister, Norwoody Geiger. So it was trying to bridge that gap of, okay, we lost one of the best players to ever come out of the Thumb into more of a 5 girls on the floor that the other teams have to worry about, more of a balanced scoring, balanced effort, which we've already seen. I mean, I've had a freshman being the lead scorer in the first game and then senior lead scorer in the second game. And I feel like any 5 of those starting 5 could go off on a night and be anywhere between 15 and 20 points, while the other ones are, anywhere 6 to 12 points. I think we have a very balanced attack. One thing we want to do, and we were really successful with Ubley, is we want to be aggressive defensively. We want to put pressure on the opposing teams and force turnovers, force them to speed up their play, whether it's a live ball turnover or we come down and make them rush a shot that they didn't necessarily want to take. And I thought against Ubley, we really did that very well. I thought, and the girls even said it after the game, after the Harbor Beach, which they lost by 1, we came out flat, unmotivated, and to walk up to the classroom after the game and listen to the seniors take ownership and be like, no, we've got to play with this level of intensity and effort all 4 quarters. Can't wait till the 4th quarter. But I was extremely proud of the way, they handled that. They fought back. We talked at the end of the 3rd quarter, we're down 9, and we talked and like, okay, we haven't played our best basketball. What kind of team are we going to be this year? When things go right, things were great. We beat somebody by 39 points the first game of the year. Things are not going great. What do we do to change it? Do we, just throw in the towel and just call it, okay, tonight's not our night? Or do you find some way within ourselves to come out and make a difference and give ourselves a chance to win a game? And we did that. We fought all the way back, tied the ball game up late in the 4th quarter, had opportunities to take the lead. We didn't play our best basketball. They came down and hit a shot, and I look, the growth of our freshmen are young and inexperienced. We made some turnovers. I told them it's not on you guys. Your turnover here or there didn't make a difference, but we didn't have a great shooting night. Brooklyn struggled shooting, but she took that inbound after they hit a 3, came down and pulled up the free throw line and drained it. Just the confidence level after how poorly we played as a group, and she didn't have the best shooting night, but she still had the confidence in herself to come down the floor and pull up and take that huge shot. So just to see those little in-game improvements and attitudes, like, it's a huge sign of what can come this year. I truly think that we have something special in the making here, again, with these 3 seniors and these 2 freshmen, and then as we slowly start to develop our role players coming off the bench, because we're going to need our role players off the bench this year.
Well, you mentioned the role players off the bench, and they played a tremendous aspect for you in that game number 1. Scarlett Fisher would also play in the bucket after. Like, those are moments me as a fan I see and I recognize. So let's talk a little bit about building a program. Year number 15, year 8 overall with the girls side of things. Where are you at, and are you content so far with what you've done here at Carroll?
Where I'm at is I'm trying to, first of all, teach life lessons to our student athletes. And I feel like we've been successful with that. And also realizing that we wanted to build a competitive program. And, again, we went from a team that won 5 games to we won the first league title in 35 years here. We finished 3rd in the league 2 out of the last 3 years. Last year, we finished 2nd. So it's competing for the league titles. That's our first goal. We want to win the league. And it's going to take a day in and day every day that the girls show up to practice to putting the effort in and working to get better and making each other better. Even the girls on the bench. You would think some of the girls that don't play a whole lot, because truthfully I've only played 7.5, maybe 8 girls really in the first 2 games. But the other ones are there just as supportive. We make a basket, they're up cheering. Sometimes I hear it's a little excessive.
Sounds good though. It's good.
Yes, but they're there, and that was again another thing that I've noticed the difference this year is when things aren't going our way. It's not a back and forth that one girl's mad at the other one, this one's mad at that. It's them trying to pick each other up, and a lot of that I think is credit to the 3 senior captains. That's their attitude. Like, we're not getting down on each other. We're not going to be negative. Hey, it's all right. You missed that shot. Have the confidence in the next one. Are you turning the ball over? Okay, no big deal. Let's go get a stop defensively. And I really think that has been the biggest thing that I've noticed this year with this, and the ultimate goal of a program is to be so team-oriented that there's not one single person that I've heard in the first 2 games blame somebody else for a mistake. They've been more supportive and positive and encouraging, which is ultimately what you want out of a team.
Oh, 100%. So when we look at Jay Riley himself, the question I have to ask you is, why did you choose Carroll?
Well, it gave me the first coaching opportunity, and I've kind of worked up the ranks. And like I said, I started 2 years JV boys, spent 5 years JV girls. And then there was a couple openings for the varsity here and in a couple other schools, and I applied. But, I've always been a Tiger, always been supportive of the school district and the community, and try to do as much as I can for it. And, so when the opportunity arose here for this position, I ultimately accepted, and I had some great assistant coaches along the way, and now I'm looking forward to a friendly rivalry game with the former assistant who's now a head coach somewhere else this year. So just building those relationships in the community that I grew up in.
Well, that's a great way to look at everything, and kind of wrapping everything up here. We're pretty deep into this for most, but and that's absolutely fine. But what is one thing that Jay Riley could say to the community of Carroll, as far as whether it's the girls basketball program, the school in general, how to support anything at all? Because listen, I see you coaching, and you're very fiery, you're very passionate on the sideline. That's just who you are. I actually enjoy it because the girls understand who you are. So what is one thing you can say to the community or to anyone out there listening right now about the 2023-2024 season here coming up for you?
Just come support the kids. That's what it's ultimately about. That's why I'm here. It's to make the kids enjoy it, have them have a memory that lasts a lifetime. So come up and support them, whether you have a kid or know anybody on the team playing. Pack the gym. They notice it. It's so much more exciting and fun for the girls to play in front of a packed gym than just have their parents here. Going back, I still remember the 2020 championship game at Reese that we won and blew them out by 30-some points. It felt like a home game. I would say it was a good 65% purple and white in the stands, and it wasn't just parents or friends. It was staff members. It was people from the community. Like, it was a truly awe-inspiring thing to see, and the girls loved it. And they, it showed with what they put out on the floor that night. So continue to support the kids, whether it's the girls basketball program, the boys basketball program, wrestling, swim, bowling. If anybody wants, I've never been to a bowling match, but I know the coaches, and I know some of the kids that bowl. So it's just supporting, giving back to these kids, because they put a lot of time and effort into this, and their reward is not always necessarily the wins and losses, but seeing people there to support them, knowing that, hey, this community is behind us.
Hey, Jay, I appreciate everything. I appreciate what you do here at Carroll. Obviously, a 2006 grad, a coach here within the program. I mean, you stepped up. You've done what you've had to do over the past 15 years, and then some. So I want to say thank you. Is there anything else before we wrap this up that you want to say?
I want to say thank you to you and Diana and Trevor for doing this, because I think it is an amazing thing that, again, it's just focused on our student athletes here at Carroll. So I know, like, now I'm looking on social media of a game that I'm not at. I can see little video clips and highlights, and some of it's games that you wouldn't expect to see this at that never happened. And soccer got a ton of love. Like, when I was here coaching, we didn't get all that media frenzy and social media blast. So it is awesome to see what you guys are doing. I know when you talked to me about it and brought it up, would this be a relief? I'll have coaches back, and I'm like, yeah. And then to actually see how far you guys took it is beyond what I had ever imagined. So, I mean, thank you to you guys for doing this, because, again, it's about our kids, about the school, and this is a great thing for them.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jay. For myself, Chris Wilcox, for Coach Jay Riley, thank you for tuning on in to the Pro Podcast.